Hello, this is Dean Phoenix with a new series that I'll be doing. Just a quick thing that I wanted to mess about with, which is Bioshock Infinite. I love Bioshock Infinite. I love all the Bioshock games, to be honest. And in this one, I just wanted to go over how I would go about doing this in the early going, how you would set yourself up for a 1999 mode playthrough, and this will be based on the Scavenger hunt. So the start of the game is just collecting everything that you can, picking stuff up, finding the box bones, and then this is where the game proper starts. So you always choose to throw the ball at the announcer. That will come into play later, and then basically you get your sky hook here, and you just have to melee the first few enemies, and then there's one guy with a pistol, and you have to kill him as well. So let's just see how this goes. So basically in the start you don't have your shield or anything. This being 1999 mode, you have to be a bit careful, but you don't really have any option other than to melee the enemies. So just on a bit of speed up here, so you just melee the enemies. It gives you a prompt for how you can execute them by holding the melee button like that as well, and you just got to kill these first few. Now just a quick thing, with this being 1999 mode, the scavenger hunt achievement is for not using the dollar bill machines, which means that you can't buy health or salts or ammo from the machines. So you have to use the things that are available to you, and it's going to be a lot of looting corpses, and these bits that are just sped up a little bit here, you can see you kill these next two guys. One of them is just a normal guy with a club, and my health is in the top left, and then you wait for this guy to reload. He actually says reloading, and then you grab the pistol from him. Now because this is the PlayStation 3 version, PlayStation 4 actually, the versions on the remasters that I'm going to assume that everybody's playing, if they're on this, on either Xbox or on PlayStation, have the season pass and all that stuff. So the pistol is actually gold, and that means that it's a little more powerful. Now at this first machine, this is really important. You want to buy possession aid. It has that money bag that we just picked up, and also cast possession on all the machines. Any of these machines, the first time you come across them, that gets you a bit of extra money too. And possession aid is really important. It's only 50 crowns. It's just to teach you how the upgrades work and things, really, because it's much cheaper than all the other upgrades in the rest of the game. And it means that when you possess an enemy, instead of possession just working on the machine guns and motorized enemies, it works on humans as well, and it's incredibly powerful because after they have been taken over, not only do they damage the other enemies that are about, but they also distract them from attacking you, and even better, the enemy that you've possessed will kill themselves after you have possessed them, and it runs out. So you want to make sure that you do that. So one guy comes up running behind you. This is again going to be a central theme of 1999 scavenger hunt mode. This achievement is going back, looting everything, making sure that before you progress from an area, you have got all of the things that you could collect, and try and get your salts and health. Salts are what let you cast the vigors, and get those as high as possible. So this turret will start shooting you once you drop down, so make sure to take a few pot shots at it first and then possess it. So this is how the next part of it goes. You get a few people attacking you. You can attack machines whilst they are possessed, but it does a ton less damage, so it's a bit of a trade-off, because as you can see there, once the possession wears off, they do start causing quite a lot of damage to you. So be careful whenever there's turrets. You may want to possess them, but at some point you're going to have to kill them, and you have to be careful with that. So there's a couple of other enemies coming there. You can try and take them out with the pistol. The pistol is pretty good for a starting weapon. It's very rapid firing, so just try and keep your distance, use cover, and you can zoom in as well by clicking the right stick in. And then there's another one of these turrets here, so you can fire really rapidly and then duck behind cover quickly as soon as it figures out where you are, so that you don't take any damage. And once you've taken out this machine, you're good to go. You could also have come up to this part first and possessed it when those first few guys were coming through, and the machine would help you deal with that. So I'm just going to skip over all the boring bits. This is again just backtracking, picking things up, and as you progress there's just one or two other guys that you need to take out as well, and then scavenge everything. So make sure that you go into the shop at the side, get all of the as many silver eagles and things as you can. Now when you're ready to progress, you've got this next gate that you go through, and this is the Fireman. Now he is quite a tough enemy. So what you want to do is, he's got this little intro bit where he jumps down, and what you want to do is aim for his head with the pistol, and you can see that it will come up a critical hit a bunch of times if you hit him in the head like that. And then when he actually gets ready to attack, you can possess him, so you can take off the rest of his health by very easily pumping a load of pistol shots into his head whilst he's possessed. So even though him being possessed means it does a little less damage, it's much safer than trying to fight him normally, because again you don't have your shield yet or anything like that. And on 1999 mode, enemies can do a lot of damage, so that's the safest way to take him out. Well worth the one cast of the salts. So you pick up the things that you can get from him, and he gives you Devil's Kiss, which is the fire vigor, and is relatively useful as well. And then what you want to do after that is, instead of coming straight down to this end, just a quick example of Devil's Kiss there, you want to come up behind this turret here. Now this thing will again attack you if you run in front of it, but you can trigger the enemies to open the gate, which you'll see just in the background, so the enemies come in, and then you can possess the turret. Now you can also shoot those sort of explosive firework barrels, and this will be working twofold, because the remaining enemies will take out the turret for you, so you don't have to bother with that once possession runs off, but it'll distract them and do some damage to them in the meantime. And then again, just going to fast forward, this is me just backtracking, making sure that we pick up as many salts as possible, and that you refill your salts wherever you can do that, and pick up anything that you've left behind. So this is why the achievement's called Scavenger Hunt. And when you've collected everything that you can, make sure you're looting all the eagles and things, the silver eagles, the currency, because they're what you use to buy upgrades. And then you're ready to progress into the Blue Ribbon Club. So because this version from the Bioshock collection, these versions on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, have the Season Pass stuff included. It's got all of the DLC extra gear as well, which makes 1999 mode considerably easier, and in particular gives you a bunch of gear, a little bit of money, and 5 infusions. And infusions are your boosts, the permanent boosts that you can apply to your health or to the shield that you get, or indeed to the salts. Now, so you get 5 infusions, and I am going to suggest that if you're following along with me and how I play, I think it's better to have a lot of salts available, because salts are extremely strong, especially early on. Possession, like I said, when you have that possession aid, is extremely good, and later on we'll be getting possession for less, which is a fantastic upgrade. And having 3 casts of the possession vigor early on, I find to be much more useful than anything else, because your shield goes down pretty quickly, and your health, you don't want to be losing health. It's much better to have shield and salts and be able to distract and avoid taking damage in the first place. So you get these 4 gears here, and these are the electric punch, which is great for the headset, the gold soldier, which is decent for the pants set, but we won't actually be using. Eagle strike, not really worth using as it's a skyline only one, and the brilliant ammo advantage, which gives you a really good boost to your weapon capacity early on. As you can see, I equipped that ammo advantage and then reloaded the pistol, and now it can have a 21 bullet capacity instead of the usual 12, which is fantastic. So you pick up these infusions, and as you can see, for the first 4 I picked up salts, and now if you look at the bottom left, I can cast possession 3 times instead of 2, which is very useful. You also pick up these other extra gears. These are from the DLCs, which are included as this being part of the Season Pass and all the other DLCs with the version that we have here. And I equip Fleet Feet, so that speeds up your movement a little bit when strafing and backpedaling, and that's the one that I'll equip for the feet. So we have Electric Punch in the hat slot. Extra you'll use when you're just for picking up voxophones, and the pants that you want to equip are those Bull Rush ones there as well. Now Betrayer doesn't matter, so we don't use that. Bull Rush is very useful, and it means that when you hit someone with a melee, it knocks them back, and that's really good for Fireman, especially early on. And then there's a few eagles and things you want to pick up. So in conclusion, if you're going to be doing this, you want the electric punch with the bull rush pants. You pick up your shield there, and then you want to have had 1 boost to shield in your infusions and 4 salts. And then the last thing is just you always want to switch to the extra hat whenever you pick up a voxbone, as that gets you a tiny bit of the it gets you a little bit of the crowns before you pick up a voxbone, and then change back to electric punch before you progress into any combat. So I hope you found that useful. That's a very good setup for the early game, gives you plenty of salts, and then later on we're going to be covering some other things that we get to, which will make some useful changes as well. So if you're watching on YouTube, please like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you all next time, and thank you for watching.